Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of the Reddit Asks podcast. All of my beautiful friends from the internet. I hope each and every single one of you is doing splendidly well on this fine Tuesday morning, or whenever you happen to be listening to the episode, whether that be morning, evening, or night. So, without further ado, why don't we just get into the intro here? So welcome to the Reddit Asks Us podcast. I am your host, Luke Dick. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. And also, please leave us a review. Remember, there is a brand new Spotify feature that allows you to answer this week's Reddit question by clicking on the description of the episode. And below the description, you should see this week's question. And to the right is a white icon that says reply. This feature is something I'm just a huge fan of because it allows us to interact and engage more with each other. And it's just more like it just takes less steps, right? Like if you don't listen to the podcast on YouTube, which, you know, it's not a video podcast, so most of my listeners are from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, blah, 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 blah. And it allows you to just do more in one place, which I really like. And hopefully we can get to a point where they allow us as creators to respond, and maybe as you as listeners to be able to interact with one another and be able to, you know, further encourage community. So please do that. And remember, you will be notified when your response is published. And I am so stoked because, guys, we have 3 responses to read this week. Oh my goodness, this just makes me so happy. I can't believe that that people respond to this, because it's just... oh, it's so cool to see that. Like, you guys are real people and you're actually responding to the show. Like, how cool is that? Like, I don't know. That's something I feel like I'll never really get over, the fact that people want to participate in the show, and it just makes it feel more of a communal experience. I kind of say this all the time, but I just get really happy when I can read off responses. So, last week's episode was what gave you the ick? Man, I got into a deep dive of like listening to things that give girls the ick, and one of them was just like so many of them are, because there are a lot of them from Twitter are all just like one of them was when he sits on a chair and his feet are dangling. Like some of them are really funny, and I just can't get over, because it's oftentimes things that you just like can't control, but at the same time it is funny, because if I'm trying to put myself in a girl's shoes, sometimes I think that I would find that shit unattractive. I just would. Like, it's just something. But mine for girls. Okay, this is mine for girls. All right, this is my ick. Okay, and because the girls had so many that they came up with that are just like, they're funny, they're good, and it's just stuff guys can't control. So sometimes guys get all salty about it, and they're just like, oh, but it's at the same. It's funny. But the one that I came up with for girls is the clickety clackety of their nails on their phone screens when they're swiping on their phones or tapping something in or typing, and there's just click 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 all on their phone screen. And the way they like hold their fingers like parallel to the screen like that, and they like tap. Oh, sometimes that shit gives me the ick. I'm like, it's just I don't know. But anyways, why don't we read off these comments? So McMuffin, shout out to McMuffin, says, never really liked her, but she took a crap in the boys' urinal in grade school and smiles and would stare into oblivion for no reason in the middle of class, and she stalks a new boy every week. This sounds like you went to school with a yet-to-be psychopath. This person sounds like they have no soul. Like, that's a little bit more of an ick, okay? That's disgust, all right? That's we're crossing a threshold here, all right? This is... it goes from being something that's kind of menial, doesn't really mean a whole lot, to going to literally took a crap in the urinal, a boy's urinal. That's just, I don't really know what to make of that. That would definitely give me a lot more than the ick. Stressed Human, shout out to Stressed Human. When a guy told me that I can't when a guy told me that I can't mow lawns under the table for money because I'm a girl, and I should schedule work for him and the boys. Yeah, that is just misogynistic. That's like, of course, I think that should give you the ick. That should give you a lot more than just the ick. That should give you vibes like, I think that I'm going to tell everyone that this person is a fucking misogynist. Like, misogyny is something that should definitely give you the ick. And honestly, I hope you started your own lawn mowing business just to spite him with you and all of your girlfriends or whatever gender expression friends that you happen to have. And I hope to spite him that you stole all of his business, because why the hell would you say that? Like, why would you, like, who cares? Like, who cares if you're mowing the lawn? Like, it's literally grass. It's literally grass, okay? How can, there's no specification that says, well, see, this is grass here. All right, this is blades of grass, and you know, it's, Mother Nature just kind of says that, you know, it's kind of written into the grass that only men should cut this, right? It's like, it's pretty self-evident, really. It's like, buddy, it's literally grass. And then we got another one from last week's, or for 2 weeks ago's episode. What is the most messed up thing you've seen a friend do? This could have been last week's reply to last week's episode. My ex pretended he was going to murder me when I was at his house once. Motherfucker pulled out a gun and all. Very strange. That was by Kitty Cat, user Kitty Cat. Thank you so much for replying, Kitty Cat. That could have been from last week's episode. I feel like that is also just like over aggressive dudes. Like, that is such an ick. Like, it's even an ick for me. Like, that makes me think that I just don't want to be friends with you. You know, like, and that is so fucked. Like, yo, how funny would it be if I pretended to fucking murder you right now? Like, that, to be honest with you, that doesn't sound funny at all. Like, that really sounds like the opposite of funny. That sounds psychotic. Like, who finds that funny? Like, who would be like if I'm chilling with someone and they're like, yo, boys, check this out, and just starts waving a gun around, I fucking sprint. I am gone, dude. I am out of there. I'm calling the fucking cops, man. Like, I'm like, this dude just fucking whipped out a gun on us. It's like that fucking scene from Semi-Pro when he's got the gun and they're just like, he's like, calls him a jive turkey or whatever. Please watch Semi-Pro if you haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil. It's not a massive spoiler. It's just one funny moment in the movie, but spoiler alert. Someone, because it's based in like the 70s, and one of the characters like calls the other one a jive turkey, and he's like, did you just call me a jive turkey? He's like, whoa, Lou, no one called anyone a JT. And he's like, and then he whips out a gun. He's like, who's the jive turkey now? And then they're all like, he's like trying to intimidate him. And then he's like, I'm just kidding. It's gun's not even loaded. And then they start passing it around. And Will Ferrell's character like puts it up to his head and squeezes the trigger. And then someone throws it on the table and a bullet fires out of it and just starts whizzing around the room. And then they all just start laughing about it. Like, yeah, that's a little bit of suspense of disbelief there. All right. I mean, I don't doubt that there are people out there like that, though. Okay. Now, enough about last week's episodes. Thank you all so much for your replies. I really, really appreciate that. Now we're going to hop into this week's episode. So, this week's episode, again, comes from the main Askreddit page. Super excited to read out this episode. What annoys the hell out of you? And I'm just suspending my language here for the first little bit of the podcast. You know, as the podcast goes on, I get a little bit more explicit. But what annoys the hell out of you? And there are a lot of things that annoy the hell out of me, but I feel like I'm a fairly easygoing person, so sometimes I just don't, like, I won't say anything about it, but I'll just complain about it. So, you know how that is. So the first one comes from Finn the Finger. That nearly all help on the internet these days for the topics I'm interested in are in the form of videos instead of a simple FAQ. We'll use a video game example. If I'm having trouble figuring out how to do something and Google it, I don't get anything written down how to solve it. I get 13-minute long videos. This bothers me so much. I could see it with video games for sure, because literally the first 5 to 6 minutes of this video is literally, hey guys, are you struggling with this issue right now? Well, tune into this video. All right, guys, so in this video, this is what we're going to be doing. So let me tell you a little bit about this thing. And then they just spend fucking half the video dancing around the topic just to make the video longer. Because here's the whole thing. YouTube's algorithm recommends videos that are like that are like 10 to 15 minutes long for a lot of like for certain niche topics, right? That's like what you want your video range to be in, because those videos are the most, like those length of videos are the most watched types of videos. So if you make your videos that length or whatever, then they're more likely to get recommended and into the algorithm, blah, 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 blah. But it's just people will just fill it with bullshit so that they can reach that time marker of like 12, 13 minutes or whatever, and then, can get their videos recommended more in the algorithm, especially if it's like a how-to thing. But this literally happened to me the other day. I was looking up some videos about like a piece of video equipment and about how to do something. Keep in mind, this is a consumer piece of video equipment. Like, I mean, it's prosumer. It's a little bit like, it's not necessarily like, I mean, it's consumer, but it's kind of prosumer, like in between professional and consumer. So like this device, if you kind of know video, is not complicated. Is really not complicated. There are a limited amount of buttons. Okay, there is only so much you can do with this device. And I just wanted to know like this one thing, and I watched 2 videos that were 15 minutes long, and they didn't even hardly mention it. It was not even the issue I was really looking for. But when I looked it up, there was no explanation. It's like, I had to go to the user manual. I looked up the user manual for this device, and I found it in 2 seconds. It's like, this is actually why I fuck with ChatGPT. All right, because it just tells you. It just tells you. I don't need you to Google to recommend me 3 fucking YouTube videos that hardly even explain what I'm asking. It's like, no. I just want to know the information. Not everything needs to be a 15-minute YouTube video. All right. Next one comes from Throw the Clown Away 20. Clickbait. I'm so fucking tired of seeing articles and videos with ridiculous titles and thumbnails. I don't need to have my fucking mind blown to be convinced to watch a video about dovetailed joints, okay? Just get to the goddamn point. This obviously goes double for videos that are meant to be educational in some way. This is a big problem with just like, I don't even know, just videos in general. Like this is like the captions for all like Instagram Reels and or like YouTube Shorts or whatever, and it's all just like Kanye West gay and how to change a lug nut, how to remove a lug nut. Kanye West gay, like it's just like what? Some of these video titles are just getting so ridiculous. Harry Styles has 2 toes. How to build a Tesla rocket? How to build a SpaceX landing rocket? Oh my god. Next one comes from Jurassic Park. Speakerphone conversations / TikTok videos on public transport. These people, I swear, just live in their own world. They think they're the main characters, but they're the biggest NPCs I've ever fucking seen. Like, that is just mindless, numbless behavior. Like, you're a passive person at this point. You are just existing for the sole sake of being just like a bot. Like, you're a human bot for the algorithm. Like, and I see so many memes about this, and it's just like drool coming out of their mouth while they're just like watching videos on TikTok, and oh my god. It annoys the shit out of me. This one's actually just like a casual one, but it makes a lot of sense. This one comes from Breakwood. Obnoxiously bright headlights. Yeah, let me just be able to see in the thickest fog known to man while driving on a clear night. How about that? Why don't I just want to make everyone think that I've got my brights on? Just as a prank. But then when I really turn my brights on, I'm going to blind them. I'm going to actually physically blind them. This one gets on my nerves a lot. I hate those like super bright LED lights. Oh shit, that pisses me off. Next one comes from Trick Telephone 1411. Trash less than 2 feet from the trash can. Oh my god. We live in a society. That's it. No, just kidding. We live in a society that has, like, especially like societies that, aren't screwed over by other societies and that, have a decent amount of infrastructure within them. There are garbage cans every like 2 fucking meters, there's garbage cans. All right, they are everywhere, and I just don't understand like the mindset of throwing something on the ground and just like not picking it up, and like do you just like when you're shitting, do you just like not wipe? Are you just like, nah, this is just nah, this is too much for me. Don't want to spend all that money on toilet paper, if you know what I'm saying. I'm living au naturel, okay? Do you think the First Nations threw away their garbage in a garbage can? There was no garbage cans, okay? There was no landfills, all right? There was not enough, infrastructure for that. If that's the mindset of these people. They legitimately think like this. It's like, you are cringe. You are so cringe. Xenofinquity8 replies and says, and mounds of dog shit a foot away from the fully stocked bag dispenser trash can. Yeah, that makes me really mad. There was some on the fucking basketball court, the outdoor basketball court the other day. I'm like, really? Come on, bro. Like, this is fucking concrete, man. Are you serious? How, like, if I see, oh my God, bro. These are people who, I hope something just mildly annoying, but annoying enough to just get you super, super, super frustrated happens to you every hour of every day. Just so that you can just live with that. I wish that upon you. Like, come on, bro. ATGF replies and says, I hate it when people bag the dog poo, but then just drop it on the ground. If you're not going to dispose properly, just the least you can do is just quit bagging it so it can decompose without harming the environment. It's not like rats can't chew through the plastic bag. Yeah, what a defeating the purpose idea. Next one comes from Bumpkin Brief. People who get on the train before allowing people off. I will stand in your way until you get out of my way so I can get off the fucking train. People, that's another thing, man, is people are in a rush, man. People are just in a rush. And this is interesting, actually, because I was, there was an event that I was teching, because like my job that I work, I'm an AV technician. And there was an event that I was teching recently where a guy was like, I went to Portugal and I didn't realize like how different our societies were until I went to a coffee shop and asked for a to-go cup, and they just were like, they gave me this weird look. Because in Portugal, and I guess in certain places, maybe not everywhere, but in certain places in Portugal, it's just not customary to get your coffee to go. Like, you sit down and you drink your coffee. So they had to give it to him in like some plastic cup or like something that wasn't even like, I don't even think it was native to the store, or something that they used for water, like for the employees or something. And it's this culture of hustle and bustle. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, gotta get here or else I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? Gotta get here or else my whole family's gonna die in a house fire. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's absolutes. These people deal in absolutes, and everything is such a rush. Like, the only thing that I don't know, and I have to give at least, to play devil's advocate, the only reason, maybe less with trains less so, okay, because trains, just take an earlier one, right? But with planes are a little different, because I feel like because I know it annoys a lot of people when people get on and off planes really, really quickly and are just rude about it, and that's true. It does really annoy me as well. But the thing about planes is you can very easily miss a connecting flight, and I think just airline companies are horrible at structuring your flights, especially if you're somebody who flies often and flies for business and all this stuff. Like, their layovers are often just like ridiculously close together, and they can miss their flights, and then so with planes it's a little different. With trains, it's like, just get there earlier. Like, have you ever heard of something just called just waking up just like a little earlier? instead of just annoying everyone else. Beetlejuice replies and says, Beetlejuice 1800 replies and says, this with elevators too. So many people in my college try to shove entire groups past me onto the elevator before letting me, and me alone, off. I've taken to standing inches from the door, so they really have no choice to let me off first, or make it really obvious that they are an asshole. This is interesting. Sean Tomahawk replies and says, had the same issue hundreds of times on elevators. I worked for an AV company, shout out, at a large hotel. That's very simple. That's pretty much exactly what I do. People would try to get on while I was standing at the back of an elevator full of carts and equipment, and I'd always say, what part of that makes sense to you? See, this is nice because we use service elevators, so we don't have to use the main elevators. But yeah, it's like, why don't you just, bother the shit out of somebody who's just doing their job? That sounds like a really fun pastime, especially at a hotel when you're supposed to be relaxing. Ooh, this one, oh my God. This one is so true. Sweet Roses Bliss comments and says, when I just put on a fresh pair of socks and then step on a drop of water. I think there is no crawling out of your skin feeling like putting on a pair of socks, going to the bathroom, and someone just took a shower and there's water on the floor and you just step in that water, and just a little pool of water. Because it's not a drop. It's definitely not a drop. And it's not like you fell in a puddle, now your whole leg is wet, which would also be annoying. But it's just enough to just coat it. Just coat the sock, right? And just a nice layer of water, right? It's probably the most discouraging feeling in the world. I think when that happens to me, I'm just like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to go out today. I don't think I'm going to go out. I think I'm just going to crawl back into bed and just think about my life and just think about what brought me here to this moment today, because I need some serious reflection after this. This has been a devastating moment for me. I am truly and utterly devastated. All right, next one comes from Chunli Sundays. People who try to act like a high school bully well into adulthood. There are people like this at just every job. Every job. They just have to establish themselves as the alpha, as the I'm in control of what's going on here, asserting their dominance. And it's just like, bro, don't you have kids? Like, don't you have, I don't know, like a life? Don't you have like more important things to think about than to just, oh, wait, before I get any work done, I'm just going to make this a toxic environment. Why don't I just before we hop in, whoa, guys. I know we want to get to work. I know we're really anxious. We're really eager to finish our job, get into work, do our thing, get out. But just before that, I think I just want to make this, I want to establish this as a certified toxic environment. This isn't a run-of-the-mill, boring workplace. There we have some fun here. All right, and I'm controlling the fun. It's my fun. All right, you are being subjected to my fun. All right, so have fun. Massive ad 3698 replies and says, I have a coworker like this. He intentionally pushes his chest out into yours when talking and takes little steps closer and closer until he's nose to nose when talking to you. He cocks his head to the side and tells you about whatever mistake you just made. Really hostile and aggressive. What is the point? Like, I really don't get that, like, what the rationale is there. Yeah, let me just motivate someone by intimidating them. Or at least trying to. Why don't I try to get someone to do something for me by being a complete asshole? I feel like that works. That should work. Why don't I just be the least understanding person I could possibly be? Maybe that'll get people to like me. Maybe that'll get, the message. I'm not that bad of a guy, I'll, make sure that I'm the, somehow always the tallest person in the room. If there's someone taller than me, I just go stand on something. I always have to be the loudest speaker. I'm always speaking the loudest. That's really important to me. If somebody tries to speak, I have to cut them off. And I just have to be really demeaning. I have to just make sure that they know that I don't understand any of their problems because I don't care. All right, I have problems. Okay, I have real problems. My masseuse canceled on me. Yeah. Oh, your family's displaced? Really? My chiropractor can't see me this week. All right, I have to wait another week to see my chiropractor. It's devastating. It's you don't even understand, okay? So why don't you take your problems and, take a piss, all right? I don't care. Next one comes from Helvia Castle. People who try to change my mind when I've declined an invitation. Take no for an answer and desist with the hard sell. Being pushy doesn't change me from a no to a yes. It just changes my answer from no to a pissed off no. Listen, Bethany, I think we should go out because you're super hot and I'm just trying to get in that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I'm not really interested. No, but you haven't really thought about it though. You haven't really thought about it because I feel like if you were thinking about it, then you would never say no to me. How could you possibly say? You're not actually even saying no to me. You just think you're saying no, but you're actually saying yes. No, I actually think I'm saying no. I'm saying I don't really want to do really anything with you. I kind of hate the bane of your existence, and I really just don't have any interest in pursuing this, even talking to you any longer. Playing hard to get, I see. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so pick you up at 8 or what? Yeah, this is just classic alpha male behavior that is super toxic and really annoying. It's if I have said no multiple times, I'm struggling to come up with what would be a more clear indication without being aggressive that I am completely not interested in anything that you have to say. This is just, I think the conversation is over. That's kind of what I'm kind of putting out there. I just want this conversation to really just end. So, however we can accomplish that is really fine by me, because I really don't like you or anything that you're about. So, yeah. This one is kind of maybe just for me, and my mom has instilled this in me, and honestly, it's very true. And I don't blame her for this because I think this is valid. Maybe not, but I think it's valid. So Technomancer says, hearing people eat loudly. Oddly enough, when an animal does it, it makes me smile. Yeah, I don't really care so much when it's an animal because they just eat food differently. But people, I don't understand how in dead silence people will eat and not think, you're only with one person and they'll be eating something and they'll it's just, that's all you can hear in the room. And people don't think to themselves, hey, this is really annoying. This is like the smacking and just it's completely silent right now. Why don't I just be the only one making any noise? And why doesn't that noise come from eating? Why don't I just eat something right now? Something maybe just crunchy or something maybe soft and just smacky. Oh my God, it makes me so angry. It's could you not? Could you please? Because I think I might just... That's maybe just a me thing, but it's definitely Technomancer and me have this in common, and my mom. And it annoys my sister too. It annoys the shit out of my sister, yeah. Because the thing is, I don't know, maybe it's tough to blame people because you probably don't, hearing your own self eating is different than hearing other people eating, but I can't stand it. All right, this one comes from Kupris Annex. When people put words in my mouth, example, I like black. Oh, so you hate white? Oh my God, this is like, people love to jump to conclusions. Oh my God, it makes me so angry when people do this. It's like, yo, bro, you trying to chill today? It's like, sorry, bro, I really wish I could, but you know, I'm super busy today. Well, see, you don't want to be friends like that anymore? Like you just don't want to be close with me? Like I literally am, I'm free today and you're literally turning me down. You're literally turning me down. I knew you were like that. It's like, what? Bro, I'm busy. I literally said I'm busy. Oh my God, that annoys me so much. People do it so much today too, especially on the internet. Oh my God. Like, this isn't exactly the same, but it's just jumping to conclusions in general. This guy I follow on Instagram, he's like a food guy, and he also has like a separate account because he's trying to get in shape and, put on some muscle, maybe lose a little bit of fat. And I was I'm not a gym bro, but I know about going to the gym, and I was like just giving him some advice, and just telling him like, just, oh yeah, make sure you work on your cardio, and you also have to remember that when it comes to muscle mass, like even like you can only lose so much weight before your fat starts turning into muscle mass. So if you see yourself starting to plateau in your weight, like see if you're really trying to build muscle on, and you're like you might so say you weigh, I don't know, say you weigh like 200 pounds and you want to get down to like 180, right? Like losing 20 pounds, that's quite a lot of weight. And also maybe 180 just isn't a realistic goal for you, because maybe you get to 190 and you look amazing and you're wondering why you're not losing any weight. It's because you're building muscle, right? And some guy just commented back and was just like, it takes years to build muscle. Like that just doesn't happen overnight. And I was like, that's not even what I said. I wasn't saying you. I never put a timeline on it. I didn't use putting words in my mouth, like trying to say that what I'm saying is not realistic. And by the way, that's not true at all either. It depends on the person. Like for someone, you could build muscle very quickly. For some people, it's very difficult to build muscle. Like sometimes people could build muscle within 2 months of working out. It depends on your body type and your metabolism and your genetics. Like, that's literally what it is. So, oh my God, that this is a personal experience that just annoyed me a lot. People just putting words into my mouth. I'm like, and especially when I was just giving good advice and like just trying to be nice. And some guy, of course, the Instagram comment section is just, it's the worst. So next one comes from Quinn the Eskimo. When you're driving and you hear something rolling around in your trunk making an annoying noise, and you tell yourself, when I get to my destination, I'm taking that thing out to stop that noise, but you never remember ever, and it stays in your trunk forever. This was like, my old car used to just be so full of just shit, especially in the trunk. And I would tell myself every time I got in my car that I was going to clean out my trunk, because I could never fit anything in there. I could never put like my basketball bag or someone's things back there, because it was just full of random shit. Like, I'm talking about random shit, like posters from 2015 from like some random school event, like just all sorts of just weird random things. Gloves, like just gloves, pairs of gloves, like it's just not even mine, like just pairs of gloves, or just one glove. Like I can't even, like tassels, like weird things, tassels, like scissors. I don't even know. Like just random shit, like plastic containers, like not for food, but like for like files, Like, just weird stuff, random things. A human body? It's weird. But anyways, yeah, I would always tell myself every single time. I mean, you know what it took to clean out that trunk? You guys want to know what took to clean out my trunk? My car getting hit by a tree, and it got written off. A massive tree, it was so windy one day, fell on my car, and basically crushed the top of my car. And that was the last time I ever drove it, was that day. And I never saw that car ever again. It was probably demolished. So that's what it took to clean out my trunk. But I try to keep my trunk pretty clean now. Pretty clean. Next one comes from, this is actually, I'm just thinking about this now. This is something that annoys the hell out of me. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you something that annoys the hell out of me. Constant gambling and promotion ads on sports games, man. Like, and they make it sound like a game. Like, how is this allowed? This is like cigarette commercials. Like, children are watching this. Like, there are kids watching these games, and you're just promoting gambling. Like, oh man, especially sports gambling, because sports betting is just like, I don't know. I think the culture and talk is just so toxic around sports gambling, and I don't have really anything against anyone doing it. Like, I don't care if you sports gamble, especially if you're doing it and you don't have a problem with your money or gambling or anything. It doesn't really bother me. And it's not like, I mean, the only time I've ever gambled was when I went to Las Vegas, and I didn't even do it right. So, because I literally knew nothing about gambling, and I just thought, just since I'm here, I'll bet on a sports game. So I don't think there's anything necessarily morally apprehensive about it. It's just, I don't think that you should be trying to have that on nationally, nationalized TV networks. So it's just I don't necessarily think there's anything morally wrong with smoking a cigarette or morally wrong with drinking alcohol. I just don't necessarily think that those things should be advertised on television for children to see, especially when it comes to money, man. Like betting your money, because kids just think they try to make it seem like it's just a game, like it's just some game, right? And I don't know. That annoys the hell out of me. Next one comes from 6969 Snipe. When I'm looking for a recipe online and someone tells me their life story for 3 pages before they get to the actual recipe, oh my God. Have you ever wanted to learn how to cook a grilled chicken? This is something I legitimately looked up. How long should I grill my chicken in the air fryer for? Okay, so back when I was in Kenya, and it's literally just a blog post. And by the time I reached out of the missionary in Kenya, I turned into a new person. Scroll to see chicken baking recipe. I don't need this. Just tell me what I need to know. It's they're telling me about listen, your chicken can have all these qualities, and it's just, I don't care. I don't care if my chicken came from Ethiopia. Just tell me what the recipe is, all right? I just need to know, just tell me how long to cook the chicken. Tell me how long to cook the chicken. All right? I don't need this, that annoys me so much. It's every recipe too. Every recipe too. How to bake cookies. Literally cookies. Banana bread. And it's, my mom was really not nice to me growing up. Bro, please just give me the recipe, bro. If you have some shit to talk about, please see a therapist, or just make a separate blog. Make a blog that people will follow, an Instagram page, Twitter. There's so many options for you. This is a recipe. I'm not asking for your life story here, okay? I don't need to know how you overcome your greatest feats by air frying chicken. All right? Just give me the recipe. All right. Anyways, I think that's where we're going to cap it off for today here, folks. So thank you so much for tuning in to another super fun episode of the Reddit Ask Us podcast. I'm so happy and thankful to be with y'all today. So thank you so much again for tuning into the podcast. Now, just to close out the show, please leave us a rating and review if you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I see new ratings on Spotify, and it's so super awesome to see everybody, participating. If you haven't given me a rating, please do so. And be honest, I won't be offended, if you enjoy the show. If you don't enjoy the show, just please give me the feedback, right? I like the feedback. But I just want to thank each and every single one of you for tuning into the show. I love you all so much. And I will see you on next week's episode. Peace, love you, bye. Please remember to reply to the episode so that I can read off your reply in the next week's episode. All right? Peace out, love you, bye.